5 questions again, but this time 5 completely different areas of quant are going to test the way you think. We begin with averages, where people leave a group, but the real challenge is understanding what actually changes. Then comes an arithmetic progression question, where you don't simply calculate, you have to judge which statement must be false. The third question looks enormous, power going all the way to 10,000, but cyclicity makes it beautifully small. Then geometry, a leaning pole, 2 angles of elevation, and a figure that you must understand before applying any formula. And finally, a function question, where the pattern is hidden inside a recurrence. Observation will matter much more than calculation. If you have already attempted these 5 questions, compare your thinking with mine, not just your final answers. Welcome to Gateway to IIMs Quant Final Lab. Let's solve. This is the arithmetic, means language driven but basic stepwise process question. I would say please pause the video, read the question and stepwise banao. There is no need कि हम shortcut खोजें. Please pause and try to solve this question. I hope आपने वीडियो पॉज की होगी और क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व किया होगा. It has only one concept which everyone knows. Number into average is equal to total, and generally we work on the totals. So starting, the average age in years of a group of people is twice the number of people in a group. We have a number, we have average, and we have total. And we know this into this is equal to 1. So the first condition, let there are n people. So as per the condition, the average is 2n and the total is equal to 2n square. So the grand total is equal to 2n square. Now, when the x leaves, मतलब एक बंदा जब निकलता है, then n minus 1 is the total number. When the x leaves, n minus 1 is the total number of people. And again, the average is still the twice of the number present in the group, 2n minus 1. So if we multiply, this data is 2n minus 1 ka whole square. When the x leaves, so the meaning of x is the value, the x takes a value of the total grand old 2n square minus total grand's new, because x के जाने से ये total summation change हुआ है. When we open the value, we have 2n square minus 2n square is cancelled out. We have 2n minus 1. If we solve a minus b ka whole square, this is the value of x. Now what happens again? When the one more person left the group, so the total number left is the n minus 2. Still the twice of n minus 2 of the current one. This is 2n minus 2 whole square. And here the left one was the x, as per the question y. So we can say the y is equal to the previous total, which was 2n minus 1 whole square, minus the current total, which is 2n minus 2 whole square. When we solve this square terms and solve, we are going to get 2n minus 3. So we got the value of x in the n and the value of y in the n. Since we have both the values, as per the question, we know x by y is given 19 by 17. And here x and y ka value is 2n minus 1. So this is 2n minus 1 and a 2n minus 3. This is obvious, visible. We get n is equal to 10. So our entire value of n is 10. Now work here only. So how many members left? The members left are 8. And what is the average? Average is 16. Now since we have one concept, if the group average is 16 and the person of age 16 leave or join the group, average is not going to change. The answer of 16, what I'm going to say, if a person whose age or whose data is same as the average of the data of the group, the join or quit, the person joins or the quit with the average is not going to change. Starting में भी 16 था, अभी भी 16 होगा, but और देख लेते हैं. If we multiply this one, we are going to get 128. एक परसेंट जब अगर लीव करता है, we have a 7%. एज अगर इसका 16 है, तो we have 112. So the new average is 112 divided by 7 is equal to 16. आप इस तरह से भी निकाल सकते हो, या कॉन्सेप्ट क्या था? If the average of a group is 16, and any person of 16 joins or went from out of the group, average won't change. Answer of this question is 16.
This Independence Day, unlock your path to success. Get the AzuCAT Supermox Plus for cats and full analytics. Only 999. Enroll now before August 17th.
So here is an interesting question of an AP series If you miss the catch, you are going to get the negative marks in this question for sure. I would say please pause the video and try to solve this question. I hope आपने वीडियो पॉज की होगी, क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व किया होगा. लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्सेप्ट फर्स्ट, देन हम इस क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करते हैं. It has simple concept, very simple. The concept is what? The Tn value. The Tn, that is the nth term of any AP, is termed as a plus n minus 1d. This is the terms. By the help of this, we can find any of the terms. The first term is a and the common difference is d and the n value is the nth terms. So we have the T11. We have T11. So with this formula or the basic formula, we can say this is a plus 10d. Is it say T11? Now we have a T8. And the T8 is a plus 70 if it is perfectly fine with you. And as per the question, the ratio of these two is given 2/5. Done. Let's cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, we are going to get 5a plus 50d. And here we have 2a plus 14d. Fine. Let's take everything in the left hand side. So 5a minus 2a is 3a plus 50 minus 14 is 36d, which is equal to 0. So this is an interesting outcome which is going to give you a great things. Now we are going to write this in the two ways. First, take 3 out. We are going to get a plus 12d is equal to 0 by the formula of Tn and the application of Tn. We have a first term, we have 12d. So we can say 813 is equal to 0. Since we have 813 is the 0, what it means? It means at least one of the term is 0 is a correct. But we need to find which is false. This is correct. We need to find which is false. So this one is correct. Now in the AP, the best part is if you have one term is 0, then the summation of 3 terms is also 0. Because the middle term is the average. In AP, if the average value is 0, then you are going to get the entire summation is 0. So if we add term 1, term 2, term 3, here it is 13. So we can say term 12 plus term 13 plus term 14 is 0. It means what? Sum of no 3 conjugate terms is 0 is what? This is wrong. No, since we have T13 is 0, so we can say T12 plus T13 plus T14 is 0. Even we can say T13, why 3 terms? We could have the 4 terms. T14 and the T15, and here we have T12 and the T11. This summation, the sum of 5 conjugate terms whose the middle term is 13 is 0. So sum of no 3 terms is definitely false. Ye definitely false hoga hi hoga. Either you can prove like this. What is the T12 value? T12 is a plus 11d. What is T13? It is a plus 12d. What is T14? It's a plus 13d. If we add, we are 3a plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 is 36d. And we have this data is equal to 0. Yeah, basic concept. The concept is quite simple. If any terms of an AP is 0, then the 1 left, 1 right is 0, 2 left, 2 right is 0 because this is middle and average term. So this one is correct. This cannot be the value. So our answer is question number B. Here you could say, sir, why the A is not the right answer? Sum of no 2 conjugative terms is 0. Sum of no 2 conjugative terms is 0. Obviously, if the one terms is 0, then if we go for the average value, the another term has a 0 plus d. This is only 0 if and only if common difference is 0. If the common difference is 0, we can have all the terms are same, but here T11 and T8 are different. So this is not possible. So one is no 2 summation, no 2 conjugative terms summation is 0 is a correct one. This is a possible. This is a possible. Sum of no 3 terms is 0 is a definitely wrong. T12 plus T13 plus T14 is going to be the 0. Summation of these terms are 0. Summation of these terms are 0. Summation of 7 terms are 0. Summation of 9 terms are 0, and so forth. An interesting question. If you miss, The question is definitely false. We need to check definitely false. In the cases, it is going to be the false. So this one is an interesting question. I hope you learned something in today's video.
Are you ready to crack SNAP 2026? Let's maximize your score and get you into those top colleges. Here is your complete guide to success.
Let's solve one of the most interesting question of cyclicity, Euler, reverse Euler, extended Eulers of the number system. I would say please pause the video and try to solve this question. I hope आपने वीडियो को पॉज किया होगा और इस क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व किया ही होगा. चलिए मैं देखता हूं कि मैं कैसे सॉल्व करते हैं. आई एम गोइंग टू यूज टू कॉन्सेप्ट्स. द कॉन्सेप्ट नंबर 1 is called as the cyclicity or Euler theorem. If a number divided by p and the power is p minus 1 and there is nothing common between a and p, this remainder is going to be 1. This is called the cyclicity or the reverse or the Euler. And the second concept is an important concept. If we have a GP summation a raised to power n, where the n start from 1 to p minus 1 divided by p, when we have a GP summation of the 6 conjugative powers, if the base is 7, if the base is prime, then the p minus 1 conjugative powers of a GP summation, then the remainder is 0. This is always divisible. This is always divisible. If you want to understand how I am going to get all these two, you can comment. I'll try to share the video which I recorded 10 to 12 years back. Let's start. First of all, we have 2 raised to power 100 divided by 7. What would be remainder? We want to get the first terms. What would be remainder? Can we write 100 is equal to 6 into 16 plus 4? Yes. So the 2 raised to power 100 is this value. Fine. Can we write this value as the 2 raised to power 6 raised to power 16 into 2 raised to power 4? And this is 2 raised to power 100 divided by 7. This is divided by 7. So we got the value of the 7. Perfectly fine. Remainder. So 2 raised to power 6 will give a remainder of 1. Power 16 into 2 raised to power 4 is the 16 divided by 7. This entire value is actually 16 divided by 7. 7 divided 2 times till the 14. The remainder is 2. So we got the remainder 2. Now we are going to use the second GP summation of the conjugative power. So we have 2 raised to power 100 plus 2 raised to power 200 plus 2 raised to power 300 plus 2 raised to power 400 up to 2 raised to power 100 into 100. So we have 100 terms of GP summation divided by 7. What would be the remainder? So we are going to apply this extension of the Euler, that is on the GP. Since we have 100 terms and we can say divided by 7, the conjugative 6 terms, any conjugative 6 terms should be divided by 7. वो हमेशा 7 से divisible होगा ही होगा. Since we have 100 terms, so in the 100 terms, we can say 6 in it 6 terms divide होगा. And we have 16 such 16 terms and the 4 extra terms. तो 7 से डिवाइड कर रहा हूं तो 6 टर्म्स को देखूंगा, 5 से डिवाइड कर रहे हैं तो वी आर गोइंग टू सी दिस टर्म्स. बट यहां पे एक कंडीशन मैं आपके लिए सेफ डाल दूं, p को 5 से बड़ा करना, बिकॉज 3 and 5 and the 2 are the exceptional primes. So this one is prime greater than 5. यहां से करते हैं. सिंस वी नो कि 7 से डिवाइड करूंगा तो जीपी के 6 टर्म्स को वो डिवाइड करेगा. वी शुड हैव द 4 एक्स्ट्रा टर्म्स. तो आप 4 लास्ट टर्म भी ले सकते हो, 4 फर्स्ट टर्म भी ले सकते हो. तो वी कैन से ये जो टोटल 6 into 16 96 टर्म्स हैं डिवाइड होगा, दैट मींस रिमाइंडर 0 देगा. अब हमारे पास बचा क्या है? हमारे पास 2 raised to power 100 बचा है. दिस इज नथिंग बट 2 raised to power 100 का होल स्क्वायर बचा है. देन वी हैव अ 2 raised to power 100 का होल क्यूब बचा हुआ है एंड द 2 raised to power 100 का होल 4 बचा है. और डिवाइड कैसे करना है? 7 से. नाउ वी नो 2 raised to power 100 रिमाइंडर 2 दे रहा था, तो रिप्लेस करते हैं. सो दिस गिव्स द 2, दिस गिव्स 2 बट स्क्वायर टर्म्स बिकॉज 100 है. ये 2 देगा बट क्यू टर्म्स देगा एंड ये 4 टर्म्स देगा और डिवाइड बाय 7 करना है. एंड वी आर फाइंडिंग द रिमाइंडर्स, नॉट द वैल्यू. दिस इज 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 divided by 7. The entire summation is 30 divided by 7 and we need to find on the each step we are finding the remainder. So 30 को जब 7 से divide करेंगे it will divide till 28. The remainder is 2 and the answer of this question. I hope you learned these two concepts and whenever you have these questions, you can solve within a minute or so.
Are you ready for the ultimate CAT 26 battle? Join our bootcamp starting this 15th of August. Get complete syllabus coverage and mentorship. Enroll now and let's crack it.
Let's solve the most basic question of geometry, which I always teach in the class 1 or the class 2 of the geometry. लोगों को ज्योमेट्री से डर लगता है. अगर आपको भी ज्योमेट्री से डर लगता है तो एक बार कमेंट कर दो. मेरी क्लासेस के बाद ज्योमेट्री से आपको चाहे तो प्यार हो जाएगा या ज्योमेट्री में आपको मजा आने लगेगा. इफ यू आर गोइंग टू गेट अ 4 क्वेश्चन in a geometry, definitely you are going to solve 3 or 3.5. Fourth question में time constraint हो सकता है. तो we are going to start this question. I would say please pause the question and solve this question. I hope आपने इस क्वेश्चन को पॉज की होगी, क्वेश्चन को पढ़ा होगा, ट्राई किया होगा सॉल्व करने का. We are going to use the basic concepts for this question. If we have a triangle and that triangle is a right angle triangle, and when we have a right angle triangle and then we have the midpoint of hypotenuse, say ABC is a right angle triangle and the D is the midpoint of the hypotenuse, then the CD is termed as the smallest median and all three lines are the same. So AD equal to BD equal to CD. That's quite interesting concepts. Or we could say how we can prove by the theta 90 degrees, something like this we can prove, or we can always draw a circle. My handwriting is quite poor, but be with my handwriting. We draw a circle. We know the diameter only makes an angle of 90 degrees. So this is the radius, this is the radius, this is the radius. We are going to use the same concept in our question. If you see the question, which is quite similar to our concept, we have a base PQ and then we have a point A and the top. We have to find the length of AB. We need to find the length of AB. But check, it is 30 degree. It is 60 degree. The total is 90 degrees. So can we say here the angle is 90 degree? We know the point B is the midpoint of the line PQ. By this value, if we have a midpoint and here the angle is 90 degree, we can say if this data is 20, this data is 20, this is also 20. So the answer of AB is 20 centimeter or the 20 meter unit without doing any calculation. We use the basic concept of geometry and got our answer within 5 to 10 or 20 seconds if we understand this figure. And in my classes, when I teach geometry, I'll say बॉस चाहे तो प्यार हो जाएगा या मजा आने लगेगा, और दोनों के केस में आपके ज्योमेट्री क्वेश्चन सॉल्व होंगे. This is quite a basic question of functions which I always teach in all my classes. You must know the cyclic function. The cyclic function is a function which repeat itself after some of the terms. So either you use your basic concept or use the cyclic function which I taught in the classes and solve this question. Pause the video and try to solve. I hope आपने वीडियो पॉज की होगी, क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व किया होगा. Let's first understand the cyclic function behind this question. If we have three terms in which the middle terms is the summation of first two terms. If we have middle terms is the summation of the other two terms, left and right terms, then this is a cyclic function and it repeats after 6 terms. I'm going to repeat. Can we say this is the case? If I say the middle function is fx, then the fx is equal to function of x minus 1 and the function of x plus 1. This is the case now. Fx is actually the summation of these two. Fx is actually the summation of these two. Now we need to understand what would be this value. Say this term is y. Just say this term is y. So we can say the b terms is actually the summation of left terms and the right terms. The b is actually equal to summation of these two. When we open, this is cancelled out. Y is equal to minus a. Wow, interesting fact. So we got the y is equal to minus a. That is after the gap of 3. After the gap of 3, a becomes minus a. And look, this is a plus b now. We are going to get minus a minus b. Assume this term is z. So by the virtue of the function which is given here, the minus a, the middle term, the minus a is the summation of left and right terms. So we have b plus z. So the z value is minus a minus b. Interesting one. So z is minus a minus b, which is the summation of the negation of this term, that is negative. So we have a becomes minus a plus b becomes a minus b, then the b is going to becomes minus b. Let's say, assume this one is m. So this z terms, the middle terms, as per our rule, the z terms is equal to the value of minus a plus m. And what are the z terms? The z terms is equal to minus a minus b. Cancel out. So the value of m is equal to minus b. An interesting one. So must remember, must remember, this is going to be the concept of the week. If you have fx is equal to fx minus 1 plus fx plus 1, this is a cyclic function. The first term, look, this is a, then the third 1, 2, 3, the first term, second term, fourth term, that is a gap of 3. The gap of 3 would be the negative terms. If this terms is a, then gap of 3, that is a4, would be minus a. But the 6 plus 1, that is 7 terms, would be a, and the t10 terms would be minus a. After every gap, the terms would be same. So can we write, if any terms is 3n plus r is going to have a common value, जो 3 से divide होगा वो common values होगा, depend upon the quotient. This is the important part of this question. Now check, we have a question. So we have f10. If f10 is a 6, definitely f10 अगर 6 है, तो can we write this is f3 into 3 plus 1, means f into 3n plus 1 will give either 6 or the minus 6. It will give either 6 or the minus 6. Any doubt? The gap of 3 terms हमेशा same चीज देता है with the plus or minus. Here the quotient is odd. If we have the n is odd, when the n is odd, it will give 6. But when the n is even, it will give minus 6. ये हमारा cyclic function fx is equal to fx minus 1 plus fx plus 1 का आउटकम है. अगर हम ये याद कर दे तो ये हम बहुत आराम से बना सकते हैं. हमें इतना ही पता रखना है. और हमने ये कहा कि गैप ऑफ 6 में हमेशा सेम होता है, तो देयर इज नो नीड टू डू टू मच थिंग्स. इफ द f10 is 6, जब हमारा f10 6 होता है, these data are redundant data, then the f10 is going to be equal to f16, which is equal to 6, and this is our answer of this question. Hardly 5 सेकंड का क्वेश्चन है ये, isn't it? क्यों? अगर हमें ये पता है कि this function is a cyclic function, अगर हमें ये पता है कि एक साइक्लिक फंक्शन है, fx is equal to fx minus 1 plus fx plus 1, the cyclic of the 6, after every 6 terms ये अपने आप को रिपीट करता है, and after every 3 terms अपने साइन को चेंज करता है, which I give here. I would say make a note of this functions. आगे जब मैं आपको फंक्शन पढ़ाऊंगा या आपके एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आएगा तो आप 5 सेकंड में सॉल्व कर सकते हो. We have f10 is 6 given, तो f16 भी 6 होगा. हार्डली 3 to 4, 5, 10 सेकंड का क्वेश्चन है, आप क्लिक करके बहुत आराम से बच सकते हो. तो मेक अ नोट एंड हमेशा कुछ सीखते रहो. Today we used averages, progression, cyclicity, geometry and functions. 5 topics but one common skill, observation. The question may change completely, but your job remains the same. Identify the structure before you start calculating. Don't remember the answer, remember the approach. More 5 question challenges are waiting in Gateway to IIMs Quant Final Lab. Keep practicing, keep improving. I'll see you in the next one.